certainly no one who hosts a cable news show has any job security unless they've got stellar ratings like a Greg Kelly. So some news on from the hearing. They've announced that the vote on the armed services vote will be Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Monday is inauguration day. Greg, one close observer texted me to say he thinks this means they know he doesn't have the votes and they want to let it die on a busy news day.
Or they pull it on Sunday night and just let it, be overwhelmed the next morning. I will say too, for what it's worth, the DNC sends out press talking points every day. Since November 5th, they've been very vanilla. They are full guns blazing. The headline is Hegseth is unfit and unqualified. And it
I
is
will say,
yeah, they're all in right now.
If this look, I have been very clear that I think based on the current political and cultural environment that we live in, that Trump is coming into this with a very different mindset. But if Hegseth goes down and they savage him, I think that this starts to chip away at my theory.
But Sean, if he goes down, it's not going to be because Democrats savage him. It's because
Republicans
thought he was unfit.
Right.
But they're not. I mean, Democrats are trying to launch a pressure campaign, but that's not what it's about. I think no votes are going to be people who share Greg Kelly's view that he's unfit for the job.
I didn't say that. I'm just saying I think it changes once Trump sees a chink in the armor that says my own team's not with me. I think that changes his overall mindset real quick.
Yep.
The only reason I actually somewhat disagree is I think if you just look to Greg's point, the only reason for him is this idea of like we got to get rid of DEI in the military. Every other box, he's bad. I mean, his management, his financial leadership is terrible. His record is awful. You never put somebody in charge of this. I think Trump moves on and doesn't think about it twice.
Yeah. All right, Greg, anything else you want to say before we kiss you goodbye metaphorically?
No, I enjoy it.
Can I ask Greg or any of you?
Yeah.
I mean, Mark asked this question earlier. Like, okay, so because the first vote is armed services, right? You got to get out before you get to the floor. You'd have to see something go down either there or know that you have more than 3 no votes on the floor. Who's the surprise vote?
Oh, I think look, if I had to bet my own money, I think they have more than enough votes to knock this down.
I think so too.
And a lot of this it's still kind of freaking me out that it's happening, but in my heart of hearts, I kind of know, and I've been following this closely, that they have like, I don't know, 6, 7 votes.
I agree.
Watching it happen, you start to wonder, and you see all those Navy SEALs out there, which is another kind of like a grotesque photo op nonsense, like as if that's representative of the military. Anybody can do that. The military is like a state. There's so many people there, and you can pick and choose and get anybody to advocate just about anything you want. You can find a subset of the military to do that. And the idea that this is somehow representative of military opinion is, well, offensive to me.
Yeah. Sean, I'd urge you to look at the accounting firm of Ernst and Young. Ernst and Young, if you're wondering.
I will say
Young
this,
of Indiana. I bet Young of Indiana, if there's a movement to vote no.
I will say this. It's interesting because we've talked about how textbook this confirmation has been in terms of how Pete came out of the gate and then brought his mom onto Fox, his wife in the background, how he's I mean, like, and it's sort of like, if from an outsider looking in the last few days, you'd say, okay, he's flowing into that hearing on a nice wave. What changed? Did they not read the room right? Did they not have their whip count right? I mean, because if Greg's right, if you're right, that suggests that the team really didn't have their act together in the way that they should.
I disagree. I'm not as sure as Greg, but here's what I think happened. I think all the senators who were making negative noises saw what was happening to Joni Ernst, including Joni Ernst, and said, we don't want to spend Christmas being attacked by MAGA. So we're just going to say we support the process, let them go forward. But they continue to say, for various reasons, some blackmail, some personal conduct, some not qualified for the job, some drinking. They just said, when the time comes and we have to actually tell the Trump people what we're doing, seven or so of us are just no. We just don't think he's the right person. I'm not sure, but nothing that I'm positing is inconsistent with what I see before my eyes.